uniforms in public schools, and I want to write an essay on, let's see, did I share the screen correctly though? That's what bothers me about this. Let me see. Let me see. Yeah. So I already found myself an article. Let me make sure because I keep not like doing it correctly. And here we go. I think now it will show up for you. Is it showing up for you? Okay. I'm just going to assume that it is. Okay. So the article I chose, I will be honest with you, I did not read it. I also did not read most of the articles that you will be writing about, which is why outline is imperative. So this is not the actual article. This is just a citation for the article. So it gives us the author, where it was published, when it was published over here, and then usually an abstract of what is coming up. The actual article is over here. You have to access PDF. Sometimes it will say PDF, sometimes it will say HTML, sometimes it will not say either one. If it does not say either one, then you need to go back and find yourself another article because you did not pay attention when I told you to choose full text only option. So you will just have to go back and find something else. You can also order things through Interlibrary Loan, but we usually don't have that much time for it. So this is the actual article, and we're just going to pretend that I've read it. And then I went ahead and prepared an outline. All right, so once you have that, you have your article ready. We're going to come back to it. We're going to go into the outline. Share the outline, Amelia. Okay, I already have the outline. Okay, I already wrote this is what your assignment will look like by the time you're finished with it. But what I'm going to do right now is delete the whole thing so we can work on it together. Okay, so cut, just like that. So outline for response paper, I don't need your name or anything of the sort because once you turn in something in Blackboard, I clearly know who it's from. Nevertheless, it remains gold standard. So as you go to other classes and teachers want you to put your name on it and have the correct title pages or whatever the requirement is, be clear on that, what you need to have. Okay. So if you look in the outline in Blackboard, it says with instructions. With instructions is in parentheses. So whatever is in parentheses throughout that outline is more pertinent to your rough draft. This is when you're going to start elaborating what you plan to say there. However, for the outline, I don't need all the details. I just need the keywords and key phrases of what you are going to talk about. So don't write me entire paper. That's not an outline. That's already rough draft, which is great that you're now ahead, but you need to go back and reduce it to just a couple of words. So this is how you would write an outline. I have here Roman numeral 1. Typically, you would write the word introduction. I'm going to go ahead and tell you that it's not a crime to say it, but it's technically incorrect. Instead of using the word introduction, you should tell us what do you plan to say there. Without going into more research and just relying on your general knowledge, you can come up with something very general that I'm going to say history of school uniforms. And I know from general knowledge that they were invented well, the concept originated in England, and then a lot of private schools use them, a lot of public schools try to enforce them along with the dress code. So literally 1 to 2 sentences here will be sufficient. So you can start very general. This is how to write a good introduction. You start very general, and you can say that, today, usually to today's society, that's what everybody always says. It's a little bit of a cliche. We want to avoid cliches. But then again, fact remains a fact. You need to introduce topic generally. Then you start narrowing it down. How do you narrow it down? Once you give the intro, you can narrow it down by saying one of the authors who addresses this issue in more detail is so and so. And then you go back to your article and academic search complete, and you give us the title and the author's name, author's names, most importantly. It is a possibility you may not have an author's name. You will just give the title. Okay, so this is what you are going to do. And then the very final, very last sentence of your introduction is your thesis statement. It is standard, it is non-negotiable, and it has to be one sentence only, it cannot be questioned. And it is essentially a preview of what you are about to talk about in your paper. It has to be comprehensive, and it is sometimes a little bit too long and students hesitate to put a sentence that long and they start chopping it up into pieces. No, it is supposed to be long. So if you looked in the outline that I gave you in Blackboard in the other one, I gave you a sample thesis, very basic one. You can say, I agree. You can disagree if you want, or I disagree with the author. I disagree with the author regarding school uniforms, public schools. Okay. Particularly or specifically, I now want to narrow it down to, so I stated what I'm going to talk about, and I'm going to give the specifics, particularly when it here, particularly when it comes to, and I did not read the article, but I'm pretending that I did. And I can tell you that anytime anybody talks about anything, it's always about who will think of the children, how does it affect the children, and who will pay for it, how much is it going to cost us, you know, what about the taxpayers, what about the parents, what about whatever. So comms two, I'm going to say discipline in school. Ah, look, English teacher doesn't know how to spell discipline. Academic performance and cost to families. Okay. I'm guessing that these are the 3 points that I got from my article. So whatever you got out, that's what you're going to put over here. You can agree or disagree. You can also agree on one, disagree on two others. Agree on two, disagree on the last one. Completely fine. That's not the point here. The point is, can you write it well? Can you explain it? Most importantly, please keep in mind, I did not read the article, so you need to summarize them well. You need to, give me some direct quotes to get the feel for the article, and then you're going to include your response. Okay? So I have it. Now, next section is what you call a body. And a lot of people, again, just like introduction, will write the word body. We're not going to do that. We will go directly to the content. You are now the content creator. So first one is from my thesis statement. Haha, because I have thesis, I now know what I want to say. Discipline in school, very original. My second one is, as you can tell, academic performance. And last one, cost. That's it. You're pretty much done with the outline. That's the idea. Now you're letting me know that you know what you're going to do. Okay. And finally, this is the only time, I don't know what else to say here. So conclusion, and it's literally contrary to what I just told you because I said, don't write the name of the part. So you can say, you can kind of write notes to yourself, state thesis slash call to action for conclusion. This is not beautiful, but this will let me know that you know to put a conclusion in there. Okay. Ignore. All right. We are not yet finished, but we are 90, well, let's say 75% there. Okay. So technically, I should not be saying I need your outline and thesis because thesis is already included in the outline. And anyone who knows about outlines knows that. But in order to be very specific for grading purposes, I tell you that. So some students will put thesis separately. You do not need to do that. It can just be in the outline. That's completely fine. Okay. Now, critical part is your source, your references. We are only working with one source. However, I want to mention that to you. I want to mention to you that even though we're only working with one source, we're going to say references because you will never write a paper on just one source ever again. You will always write on multiple sources. So you might as well get used to say references. Also, I want you to pay attention that I did not put references in bold. I did not change font. I did not underline it, put in quotations, made it pretty, and it has to say references. It cannot say works cited or sources or anything that the sources page. No, it has to say references. This is a requirement. So please remember that. So back to our references. Now we're going to go back to the library. I want to make sure I'm still sharing the screen. I'm going to stop it and go back and share, make sure. Okay, so here's my article. And so this is all the publication information, okay? The time, the date, and the journal itself. Lucky for you, you do not have to deal with this the way I did when I was a student. I had to buy a separate like instructions manual and do it manually. So you don't have to do that. You have essentially a wizard to help you. So you found your article, okay? I lost my article. Where is my article? No, no, not the article I made. I went back too many times. I'm gonna cry now. It's all right, I'll find it. Okay, so here she is, my Joanna Reedy or Reedy. This is my article. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over here, quotation marks. This is for citation. This is what you need for references. You also need this information for citing sources in your paper, and that's a separate video. So we're going to go over here. Now pay attention here. This is a critical moment. It tells you select style. What is the style? We use American Psychological Association style 7th edition. It's abbreviated APA 7. So each industry essentially creates their own rules for how they want things documented and cited in the professional publications. We are teaching and we are using APA, American Psychological Association 7th edition. So be sure that from this menu you pull the correct one. Likewise, if you go to other classes and the teacher says use MLA, here's MLA. But do not use MLA in this class. We're going to go by this one, okay? Now, this is really amazing because it already shows you has copy to clipboard. I had to copy and paste in the old days. So I'm going back to my, am I still sharing? I hope I'm sharing. I already recorded this so many times. I'm just going to, I don't trust it. I'm going to stop sharing, share again because I don't trust it. That would defeat the purpose. All right, so I have my back to my Word document, okay, my blank Word document, and now I'm going to paste it. Here's a critical thing. You want to choose third option, keep text only, T. And I've noticed that in some updated Word, they already added others. And if you missed your chance, you have second chance over here. So you want to do that. If you do not do it this way, if you decide to just, oh, whatever, quickly copy and paste, it will most likely do it in a different way. So it will copy the image for you and you're going to end up with gray shading. You will not be able to do any formatting. It will literally ruin your paper for the rest of your paper, so you will have to redo everything. So do it right the first time. Please note that everything I have is double spaced. Your entire paper, including your references, should be double spaced. So mine is already double spaced. If you pasted it in a single space, you need to go back and change your spacing, which is over here. At least on my computer, it's over here in spacing. So wherever you do that, that's great. Now, there's one final step. We have to put this in hanging format. And it was actually in hanging format over there, but it didn't paste, so we're going to change it. And this is what you do. You go back to where you do your indents and spacing. And you go to the spot that says special, and you choose hanging. Look what it did. Make it weird like that. That's what we want. Right now, it may not make much sense to you. It looks a little odd. You will see later in the semester why it is done the way that it is. It is imperative, critical, and very important that you do not use anything else except this hanging feature that I just walked you through. Okay? If you start doing it manual tabs, it's going to screw up your formatting for the rest of the paper. For some reason, some students think that they're so smart and they're going to just center it, apply centering, and it's going to do it. It is not the same, and you're going to lose points. So make sure you do it like this. Please hit save and upload this as your outline. And this is how you write an outline. This is what it should look like, nothing complex. I estimate it takes you about an hour to read your essay and get your information, your 3 points, and then it should take you about, I don't know, 15 minutes to type up an outline and do your references, okay? So this completes our show for the day. Thank you for stopping by. Please come again, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.